Okay, guys, recap for today, Wednesday, 21st, and it's going to be a prep video for tomorrow, 22nd, what to expect in the markets. Let's go over oil trades today, this afternoon. What we did early in the morning was look over our shoulders and see what the trend line that we have on the daily chart on oil. So it worked really well. We have a tiny breakout. I don't know if this is going to be a failed breakout or not, but it was great trading the oil today after the report. We got some pretty nice amount of ticks. What is important on this oil is that 56 number on oil. We have seen before this 56 holding area of support, and then when we actually broke that 56, we went all the way to 49. You guys remember back in, the last week of July. So some Saudi news came online, and we got our footing again back to those 55 levels. So very important. It's going to be key tomorrow. Currently, we are sitting at 55.88. Globex is already 5 p.m. Eastern time when I'm recording this video, 4 p.m. Central. So coming in tomorrow, look for this 56 failure. You can see clearly how we are inside this wedge in our oil. I mean, you can see it in your daily charts. You have to mark them down, know where you are every time you take a trade. Breakout of this, guys, is going to expose that 53. The 53 I'm referring to is this 53.50 area right there. That's about 50, actually 54, excuse me. 53.80, 54, that's where those levels you're supposed to be looking for if we were to break out of this wedge, this pennant that we are on right now. Any breakout, look down below. When you go to the profile, let me show you how the profile turned out to be today. Profile, we have some point of controls. Two of those were revisited today. Actually, the last one, which was Monday's point of control, just got revisited during overnight. So we were really close to go to it. We did some very nice trading today. And one thing, we left the point of control for today right here at 56.10. So let me mark it down for you and lock it in place. So previous day, point of control is going to be that 56.11 on oil. Very important. Halfback for today, we left it at 56.38. So I want you to mark it as well. 56.38. By the way, we were selling, remember, today, those numbers, 30s and 56.10s, they were great. All this area was a good sell-off in the afternoon. We did really well capturing those moves. We captured from 56 all the way down to 85. Great move on oil late in the afternoon. We have the top of the balance, guys, that was tested yesterday on Tuesday. And I talk about this on Friday when we have an inside day Wednesday, last week Wednesday, and we have 2 days being inside that day. The breakup was great on Monday, but yesterday, Tuesday, we tested that top. This is the top of the balance, the 55.40 number that I just talked about, 55.40. And we have a couple of, virgin point of controls that we have not revisited. We have 54.68, all right, still to be revisited, 54.38, and these are from last week, all right? So let's not get ahead of ourselves. Those are just point of controls, have not been revisited. Coming in tomorrow, what is going to be important is, are we going back inside the range of this balance area? And if we are, we need to know what to expect. So look up for any failure today during Globex or tomorrow morning around the 56.10s, 56.30s for a potential move down towards the overnight low or whatever Globex give us today. 55 even should be the number to look for on oil. All right, let's do the ES. ES was kind of a mess today, right? Early on, there was no direction. They were just chopping people head off. Chop early in the morning. I mean, even the late afternoon, it was just crazy. Good reference point since yesterday. I told some of my members to look for that 29.29, and I'm gonna make a reference to that 29.29 right now. Let me get this straight, and let me actually get rid of the volume so you can see that reference. So multiple days in this balanced area where that 29 number has been in place. These are value area highs when we were balancing, right? And if you look, there was a quite amount of time spent on that value top, 3 days value area. Very important number, that 36, top of the value, top of the balance, excuse me, and the bottom of the balance, which is that 2900. Last night, I mean, we see this big move. I mean, we were right below 2900 and they just recovered the whole thing. Today, we opened at the top. We did not test the low from overnight, right? We didn't test it. So that's something to carry forward, all this inventory that we have in the market. If we were to correct or get out of this area, number to be important is that 36. We need to see if this 36 number is going to break. Breaking out of this balance area, guys, is key coming in for tomorrow. I made a reference this morning around 32. That is the high from Friday, excuse me. Friday's high. It was a Monday. Monday's high, excuse me. Monday's high was that 32. We took a couple of trades there short when we couldn't go to the 36 number. They worked really well. Yesterday, I made a reference to that 29 number. In the markets, today was pretty good. Worked well for some of my guys. Worked really well. 32 will be a number to look for Globex tonight. We are already printing 32.25. As a matter of fact, that's what I'm seeing on my screen. 32.25s. But the 36, breaking this 36 and going to that 42 number is key. We had a battle on this 42 last week on that big news from China, right? Then everything, all of this got corrected to the downside. Sellers were able to regain control, right? Sellers were able to regain control. 29.56. If we were to get to these numbers, 29.56, I also have a reference. There was a buyers, sellers battle right there back in the days, back in June 24th. That is another area you have to have as a reference when you come tomorrow morning. To the downside, well, you know the reference, the plain reference to the downside. I'm going to go over those right now. 29.18, it was key apparently for today. That was the open for yesterday. We stopped right at it and I missed it completely missed it. I was trading oil. I was away from my computer. Some news broke out of regarding the yield and some news out of Germany, I think something to do with that effect. Couldn't grab it. I was late. Didn't grab the big move back up. But that was a great, I mean, from 18. If you have everything marked down on your charts, I mean, you can see those reference and ask me in the room, you know, what's going on, right? So I completely messed up to probably make a reference when we were trading that low in the ES. To the downside, we have today today is tomorrow that will be our previous day open. So I already marked it as the previous day open. So the open for today is going to be a reference coming in tomorrow morning, 25.50. If you look at the past 3 days, since Monday, look at the point of control from Monday, 25.25. Well, look at the point of control today, 25 even. So we have a lot of business being conducted at these levels. So if the buyers are holding these levels, you don't want to see any sell-off coming really hard to the downside for us to test the 2900. You don't want to see that. If you're trading long this market, you don't want to see a revisit, a strong revisit of these numbers. You want to ride the trend back to the 40s and back to the 50s. That would be a better trade to take. To the downside, if we break those 24s, well, guess where you're going to be stopping? You're going to be looking at the 18s, and then eventually that point of control that has not been revisited, I think is 2910. Yes, 2910 from Tuesday. And we have this pullback low. Let me go over that right now. Pullback low from Tuesday that we did not revisit today. That's the move that we got last night, and they just went all the way up overnight. So we haven't found any acceptance here, which is great. If we don't want to conduct business here at the bottom, like I said early, we went to the top of the box of balance. we came all the way to the bottom of the balance, and now we are heading to the top of the balance. So if we were to break out of this balance, guys, 2942s, 2956, those are the numbers to start looking for potential targets to the upside. To the downside, again, we have plenty of reference. 2900, that pullback low, 2918, 2900. We have this gap. We still have this gap that wasn't filled completely, right? So we still have the gap. We have 2900, 2918. We have the Friday spike from the August 16, just a spike late into the day after this big move. We left some singles at 28.75, and we have a gap all the way at 28.57. So tons of reference. In case of a firecracker event because of this Jackson Hole thing on Friday, maybe we're gonna get all this on a single day. I just want you to be aware what levels do we have on the ES. So I'm happy today was a great day. Beautiful day for a lot of members in the room. Good trades on oil and some great trading on the ES. Some of the guys that really did well. I missed a couple of trades on the ES. I didn't do that well. I was kind of late in some of them. Market was kind of chop. But hey, you know, you cannot grab them all. Sometimes you're going to have one of those days where the market just is doing nothing. I posted something on Twitter today, and I hope that helps some of the guys that are new, you know, to what the trading actually is. You don't have to trade, guys, every day. And I keep saying this, and some people, you know, you have to understand what to do in this market. There is times that are designed to really kill you as a trader. And there are some times where all you got to do is accept it, move on, don't trade that day. If you don't trade that day, you're already ahead of the game. So please be careful out there trading these markets. If you don't have a guide, if you do not have a mentor to help you out manage this ugliness of what we're seeing in the market, come to our room, come check us out. Again, those that are already in the room, guys, thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Take care. Have a great night.